Welcome back to video number 5 of the Truth About Weight Loss video series. This is Angela B. Another very exciting interview I did was with Dr. James Carlson, a New York-based medical doctor specialized on obesity. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to share with you everything Dr. Carlson said regarding the truth about calories and food and how your doctor's dietary ignorance can make you fat and literally kill you. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how Dr. Carlson himself went from obese to slim by increasing the calorie intake. Yes, he increased it up to 8,000 calories per day. This is going to be a real wake-up call for many dieters.
Right. Thanks so much, Angela, for inviting me and having me here. And the truth, as they say, shall set you free.
Yes, absolutely. Dr. Carlson, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, please?
Absolutely. When I discuss the correct way to eat, I like to, at the start, at the beginning, state the following, that this is an understanding. This is not my belief, theory, opinion, or supposition. This is an understanding of correct nutritional biochemical facts, which I did not always understand. If we go back in time, say, about 16 to 17 years ago, I was actually obese. I had high blood pressure. My blood sugar was elevated, meaning I was a diabetic. I had very low HDL, which is your good cholesterol. Many, many things wrong with me. And I, at that time, did not understand the correct way to eat. But let me also add that at that time, I was also a board-certified family physician, so you would think I would know the correct thing to do to change my life around, but I did not. So what did I do, Angela? I followed the low-fat, low-cholesterol premise, or the low-fat, low-cholesterol hypothesis, and I got rid of all the fat and cholesterol in my diet, and wouldn't you know it, I got heavier, my blood pressure went higher, blood sugar went higher, HDL, good cholesterol, went lower. Basically, I made all my conditions worse by following the accepted dietary guidelines, which are still the accepted dietary guidelines. It's interesting, too, because when I failed the low-fat, low-cholesterol diet, I put myself on medication. I wasn't understanding at the time the correct way to eat. So I put myself on a blood pressure medication. I put myself on a cholesterol-lowering medication. And I actually stayed on those medications until I started to understand the correct way to eat. And that understanding was a big eureka moment in my life, a big wow moment when I suddenly understood that low-fat, low-cholesterol eating styles are actually harmful and deadly. And I switched the way I was eating. I started eating more fat and cholesterol, and wouldn't you know it, lost 70 pounds plus, came off my medications, and the rest is history. And armed with that knowledge, I began influencing, or I should say, bringing that into my practice, telling my patients the correct way to eat. And now, 16 years out, I literally have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of patients eating the correct way with wonderful, miraculous, marvelous results.
I just had a very bad thought. Sometimes it would be helpful if doctors would suffer from the same diseases their patients are, so that they have another motivation to find the truth.
I totally agree. And, I've always been, I like to say, a thinker. I was telling, thousands upon thousands of patients before I knew the correct way to eat. I was telling them the incorrect way to eat. And it's interesting how we physicians are trained here in America. We're told low-fat, low-cholesterol, and then we're told, of course, this is all heavily influenced by the pharmaceutical companies. Then we're told that if the diet we tell you to follow doesn't work, well, it's okay because we have medications we can give you. And that's the wrong way to think. And Angela, I am somewhat embarrassed to say that all those thousands of patients I told to follow low-fat, low-cholesterol, really not a single one of them did okay with that where they didn't need medications. Most of them needed medications. And I didn't step back and say to myself, eventually I did, of course, when I became, obese and all that. I didn't stop and say to myself, well, wait a minute. I'm putting all these people on low-fat, low-cholesterol, and almost every single one of them needs medications. I didn't step back and say, well, maybe I'm telling them the wrong way to eat. Maybe it's not the correct way to eat, So my focus or mindset, was more of the physician mentality where we're trained to do certain things and not to think about it. And I want your listeners to understand that medical school, at least here in America, You're not trained how to think in medical school. You're trained how to think and what to think, and not really to be a free thinker. You go to medical school, you go to the classes, this is what we know, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do. So there's really not a lot of free thought involved, which is why in America, and I know it's around the world, I've spoken internationally, and the same problems we have here in America, obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, the number one killer here, cancers, they've ravaged the world.
Understanding that your doctor most likely doesn't have the answer for your weight issues, you may want to go back to video number 2 with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones, where she said that we should be the CEO of our health, weight, and life. Please take into consideration that no one knows your body better than you do. You are living with your body for as many years as you have life. Therefore, it would be safe to say that you are the best expert when it comes to your body. Of course, that doesn't mean that you always make the right decision. Apparently not, otherwise you would not be watching my video series. For the moment, please start questioning your mindset regarding food and eating, because what you think you know about eating and weight loss may be completely wrong. This interview with Dr. Carlson will be continued in a few days. Please stay tuned. If you're inclined, please give us a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, I'll answer them personally. Happy slimming!